Before the break, I said I am optimistic about our future for a couple of reasons. Next Gen Men and Women is one. The other is C5 Georgia, an Atlanta nonprofit working with Metro Atlanta young people. Jackie is the executive director of C5 Georgia Youth Foundation, and she brought along with her a senior from Marietta High School and also a participant in the program, Samira Butts. Jackie, Samira, thank you both so much for being with us. Jackie, C5 had a pretty big announcement recently. Tell me about it.
We did. We were very fortunate to receive one of the True Inspiration Awards from Chick-fil-A late 2020 and actually early 2021. In the education category, we were one of three that got a national award from them. It was amazing.
So that means how much money to the Georgia chapter, and what are you doing with it?
Shh, don't tell anyone, but it was a $225,000 award. And the award was specifically for growing our program, especially in some of the more underserved communities in Atlanta, in the Black communities especially, as well as to support our alumni. So there was kind of a twofold investment from Chick-fil-A on both those fronts, because we have quite a few alums now that graduate our program, are in college, but also.
So now tell our audience about C5, exactly what it is, what do you do in these underserved communities and with kids like Samira?
So C5 is a 5-year youth development program. There are 5 components. We were started by the Coca-Cola Enterprises company about 17 years ago, when they realized that there were young people in our community that needed what I call a hand up, right? So this program is designed to take them from the end of 7th grade all the way through high school graduation. And we focus, as I mentioned, the leadership development with a camp component, which is an outdoor experience. We have a college and career readiness component. We have a community action component, and then a social awareness. So we really try to kind of tackle many elements, as you can see, of very holistic programming. So that's kind of the very high level. There are many moving parts to it, Condace.
So Samira, why don't you tell me, as a senior now at Marietta High School, why and how did you get involved in C5?
So originally I was recruited by the counselors at my middle school. They all said that it was a great opportunity just to interact with other people, learn new leadership skills, all that kind of stuff. And originally I was a little hesitant because of the camp portion of it, but my mom, she was very adamant about this being a great opportunity for me to get ready for college and get ready for the real world. So she really pushed me to step out of my comfort zone and get into this program.
So tell me about that first time you went to camp.
The first time I went to camp, I was so nervous because it was the longest amount of time I'd ever been away from home without my mom. So I was really hesitant about meeting new people too. So it was really a step out of my comfort zone, but with all of the counselors there and everybody was just so nice and welcoming, and it was a lot of fun actually.
And you're going to college in the fall. Tell us what you're going to be doing.
I plan to study psychology and child development. So in the future, I'll have a private practice child psychology office.
Oh, how wonderful. And why is it that that's the work you want to do?
I love working with kids. I feel like a lot of times, sometimes kids don't get the attention they need in the mental health department. So I feel like it's really important for us to pay attention to a child's mental health.
Do you know where you're going to school yet? Where have you applied?
I applied all over the place. I applied to a lot of Ivy Leagues, but so far I've gotten into UGA and Berry College.
Well, I can personally vouch for the University of Georgia. It's a great school, but I know you want to go to Yale, so we'll keep our fingers crossed on that. You're the leader of the Diversity Club at MHS. Tell me about that and what you guys do.
So this is the first year that Diversity Club has actually been in action, but we are pushing really hard to get a lot of educational materials out. Our main goal is to create a community of inclusion through Marietta High School for everyone, no matter who they are, what they look like. So in all of our club meetings, we have opportunities for people to share their emotions about what's going on in the world, or even to share about their personal experiences. But we also have speakers who come and talk about the importance of diversity in different communities. And recently we did a lot of activities for Women's History Month. So every day for a week, we had educational materials played through the classroom about important women in history, women's suffrage.
Who are the students who have joined you and participate in this inaugural year of MHS's Diversity Club?
There are about 60 students, but the main exec board is mostly juniors and seniors at Marietta High School who also share a passion about educating.
Well, it sounds as if you guys have had a lot to talk about in this last year, I bet.
Definitely.
So how excited are you about the future, and what has being a participant in C5 meant to you?
I am very excited for the future. C5 has meant a lot to me. It's actually pushed me to be the leader that I am today. I feel like if I weren't in C5 and I didn't have all the leadership skills they taught me, I wouldn't have even applied to be president of Diversity Club. I also feel like it drives my passion to serve others in the community.
Jackie, what kind of adjustments did you have to make as the leader of C5 Georgia in light of the fact that kids are either in person or learning virtually, and we've sort of been working through this pandemic?
When the pandemic was, all of a sudden just came upon us, nothing had prepared me for this experience. So I'm leading an organization of youth that are looking to us to be that support group. Thankfully to the board of directors that stepped in and just, really helped us to navigate, to pivot to the virtual learning and to not give up the programming, even though we were not able to work, be with the students in person. So we got a lot of great volunteer speakers. One in particular, Dr. Chandrissa Smith from Kaiser Permanente came, and she's a favorite of Samira's, talked to the students about, some of these issues that they're having to deal with. I think that was one of the blessings because there was no logistic, barriers. We were able to bring people in to speak to the kids and to really support them. So we had deal with the pandemic, them not going to school. We had the class of 2020 that now did not get to experience any of the graduation celebrations, to the social unrest of the summer. I mean, it was just a lot, but I feel like we, again, stepped up and we were able to really be a support for these young people. So I feel really good about what we accomplished in the last year.
Samira, what do you tell other kids about the potential for getting involved in C5?
I always tell them that it's going to be a little hard and they're going to push you to do your very best and to step out of your comfort zone, but it's worth it.
Great. What is the one thing you think that you've learned about yourself as a result of participating in C5 Georgia?
Wow, that's a good question. I'd say I learned that I'm tougher than I think I am. I have the capacity to do so much, and now I realize that I can really conquer anything.
I bet you can. Jackie, what is your hope and your goal for students like Samira and others who are participants in C5?
I think that my hope and my vision is that, first of all, we give them the opportunities to become whoever they would like to be, right? With Samira as a prime example. And I feel like if you can see it, you can be it. The other is to teach them what is possible for their selves. So to have a dream or a passion and follow that passion, there may be an avenue for you to take to get there. When I was asked to ask a student to participate in this interview, I thought of Samira right away because she's walking the talk, right? So it's about being a change agent in our society, in our community, being able to help others do just what Samira is doing, is to educate her classmates about the importance of diversity and the importance of accepting others, and to help them to understand that we're all kind of, we all want the same things, right? Is to be successful and to be happy and that. So I think my goal is to help more kids along the way to have realized their potential.
Is there anything else either of you would like to add? Something you thought I would have asked you that I didn't? Something that it's important for our audience to know?
There's a lot of young people out there that want to succeed. They're motivated to succeed. They don't always get a chance to do that. And so a program like C5 is that pathway to that success. And also as a community, I think we as a society, as a community, that's kind of our purpose on the earth, is to help each other along the way and whatever that looks like. So I just want people to have an open mind to helping others, and just to know there's programs like C5 out there that are, doing that work. But of course, we'd love to have more folks volunteer and participate, donate, there's always that.
And Samira, you get the final word on this.
I would like to say to any students who are considering applying that even though this may seem like something big, something like challenging even, just think about the network that you'll have of people who are here to support you and people who are here to help you in the future and even beyond when you graduate high school. It's always worth it to have a community of not only students, but adults who only want to see you succeed.